TJ, what did you feel like y'all accomplished defensively today?
For the most part, I feel like we accomplished most of our technique things. I mean, there's always stuff you can work on technique-wise, but for the most part, we got pretty much all that covered. We communicated a lot better, so I feel like we've had a lot of energy. We ran around a lot, so I feel like most of the things that we wanted to cover, we did cover.
TJ, where was the defense kind of at the start of the spring till now? I mean, where did y'all kind of grow the most?
In my opinion, we grew everywhere. I mean, we only had a handful of returners. Most of them, everybody was gone, so we had a lot of young guys step up a lot this spring, you know. DBs and D-line-wise, we had a lot of people filling really big roles, so I'm really proud of them.
TJ, who did you see, you mentioned the defensive line, who did you see kind of step up there with so many of the guys gone from last year?
Cooper Lands for sure, because he was playing end last year, and this year they moved him to nose. And I mean, he's done nothing but excel at nose so far. So I'm excited to see him continue to grow, continue to become a better player.
Any other younger guys?
Younger guys, definitely say Devontae Tez, you know. He's one of those guys that's a freakish athlete, but he's young, so he doesn't really understand how good he is at this point. But he's definitely like growing into that mindset of being that type of player.
Y'all talked about 3-man line and 4-man line this spring. Which do you prefer, and how do y'all see you going?
Personally, I don't discriminate because a lot of the 3-man stuff, we slide the front based off of the offensive formation, so that 3-man, 3-down could turn into a 4-down just based off a motion or something like that. So just as long as we're all on the same page, it's where we need to be.
We were talking to one of the assistant defensive coaches. I'm trying to remember which one now, but he mentioned you as having a big spring in terms of sacks, and obviously y'all were able to get some sacks today. You looking forward to the fall in terms of maybe just what y'all can do pass rush wise?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this year I believe our emphasis is going to be on disrupting the quarterback, moving the quarterback off his spot, making him uncomfortable in the pocket. And we got a lot of guys that are good at that. We got me, Gabe, we got the outside linebackers, we got plenty of blitzes written up for people to go in there and disrupt the quarterback. So I feel like defense as a whole should be able to, disrupt the quarterback and make him uncomfortable.
You guys have had some transfers come in. Do you feel like those guys are making their mark?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The Barrington brothers for the O-line, I can see them become more and more comfortable in that leadership role. They're older than most of the O-linemen we have now. So I can definitely see them growing in their leadership with the offensive line. And then we have Mike Smith, that linebacker. He's had a tremendous spring. Because beforehand, I didn't know who he was, and then he came in and he definitely showed up, showed everybody who he was, and I expect him to be one of those big-time players this fall.
Back here, right over here. Seemed like the run defense really showed out for you guys today. What did you see out of that and your ability to stop that pretty talented backfield?
I mean, we've been playing the same team for 4 weeks, so a lot of the time you'll know what they're running based off of their formations. So for us, that's what we pretty much emphasize on: knowing the formations, know what you're going to get, know what you get out of, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, knowing what you're going to get, basically.
TJ, this is the last spring game for you. Is that kind of bittersweet for you? Is that exciting?
It's definitely exciting. I mean, I wouldn't say it's bittersweet because, I don't believe my journey ends here. So I believe that, I have potential to become anything I wanted to become, And I'm excited to, see the guys that still have more springs to come back and watch them, just to see how I left the mark on them, and see how they progress throughout the next few years without me. That's all. All right. Thank you, guys.
Drake, what did you see from both Sawyer and Blake today?
I saw a lot of energy, a lot of leadership, and I think they both showed that they can make any throw on the field and move the ball with whatever group they were in. I think we saw a lot of good things from both of them today. So proud of both of those guys.
Drake, what was that like for you to get back into the end zone, coming off the injury, and just being back out playing in a game?
You know, it meant a lot. I know just being back out there with the guys, just putting that jersey on. I mean, we're playing against the same guys, but it feels a little different when you get that jersey back on, that number and name on your back. So it felt good to be out there again and being able to make plays for my team, especially coming back from an injury. So, yeah.
We heard back here again. We heard that the tight end room is going to play a little bit more of a focal point in the offense this year. It kind of showed today. Is that what you kind of saw? Is that a lot of those guys stepped up in the spring game?
Yeah, I think a lot of us stepped up in the spring game. Kelsey, Jake, Gavin, we all did our part. And I think this whole spring we've shown that anything Coach Grimes asks us to do, we can go out and do it and perfect it. And we all got different skill sets and we all got different strengths. So I think we just work well together when we're on the field at the same time, and it just gives us opportunity to have more tight ends and be able to make plays for this team and block and just do whatever we need to do for this team. So, yeah.
Just to kind of build on that question, you know, Ben was such a focal point of this offense. What do you kind of take from him, and do you feel like maybe you can do some of those kind of same things?
Yeah, I definitely think, you know, Ben led the room last year. He was a great example. Taught me a lot. I know we pushed each other, going back and forth, just making each other better. So I think that's helped me to kind of be able to step up into that role and just be whatever I need to be, if that's pass catcher, runner, run blocker, just to step up and take that role. And it's nice to have other guys in the room as well to kind of take some of the load off and just be there for each other and do different things. So, yeah. Thank you.
It's good to see you guys. I thought, you know, spring was good for us. You know, I think in the very beginning of winter, really, when guys came back, you know, I've mentioned this before, but you know, just the staff and there's new pieces there, and new guys kind of coming in the team, and so one of the first meeting was, you know, if you give us half your heart, we can show you half our power. If you give us all your heart, right, we can change your life. And I just, you know, I look at that, like Baylor University, Baylor Athletics, I think Baylor, you know, our football team, just the whole, you know, with the whole approach that football is way important, but there's so many things that are equally so. And so just attacking it in all phases of off and on the field and in the classroom and all of it. Way proud of this group. It's a way young group, but you know, GPA is way up and looking to compete there and finish really strong. And then you look at the practices and they go by so fast. You know, when there was last year where, you know, there'd be things that would just be so long, you know, and now they just goes by like that. And so it's a really good, it's a good feeling. I thought today had some positive things. A lot of the stuff that we have seen, I hope that you guys were able to see. And so there's some building blocks that are kind of some that are further up than others. Others we got some work to do, but I'm just confident with our approach that we can do it. And so I guess with that, take any questions you guys got.
Dave, what did you see from both Blake and Sawyer today and throughout the spring, and do you expect to make a decision now or in the fall?
So appreciate that. Yeah, so with Blake, I saw like a real calm today and a command, and was way centered on just, you know, something good happened, something bad happened. I didn't see him fazed at all. And I saw him step up in the pocket when there's pressure. I didn't really see like happy feet and things. And so saw some good throws, you know, from hash to opposite sideline. So was really pleased with him. And then, you know, Sawyer's kind of been becoming all the way through, you know, from the beginning of, you know, getting a play in the read mixed up with an air raid play. You know, we read it from the right, and he used to read that play from the left, and just all of those things in the beginning to where it is now, we had 40-second clock there, and so his command and getting guys lined up and where dudes were, I thought was really, really good. I think, he's only going to continue to get better. Then it was cool to see RJ, man. He had some magic tricks out there with some of the pressure that he was getting, and he's way cool, calm, collected under some under some pressure too. And so the idea is to kind of huddle up with offensive guys. And I think we're ready to make a choice, but I want to make sure that they're ready. And so we're aiming to do that when we get back in the week. Yes.
When you made the choice of Shape and Gary last year, it was about the possibility of the offense being more dynamic. Does Sawyer even give you possibly more than that now?
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think the choice last year was to try to throw the ball down the field more and just be more explosive in the pass game. I think anytime that there's tight ends and running game and, like what we're trying to do on defense is get tight, get close, get everybody, get edges, they've got 7, we want 8 in the box and all of that. And so it opens up potential big plays. And so that was the thought last year. And I think, I look at Sawyer, I look at his ability to run, I look at, he's got a moxie and kind of a spirit that's contagious. And I think that's, his growth and his learning is really just going to continue to take off just because of his want to with everything. But then, I look at Blake and I look at, the season that was last year and how disappointing it was. And, to walk around and carry that can be heavy. And to put in work and then to put in work and to make changes and to really kind of confront the things that were holding you back, and to do it in a way to not bring attention to yourself, but really just to focus on the specifics of the thing is a way cool thing to see. You just see a dude just kind of grow up, really mature. And so that's happening right now with Blake, and way excited for him. I thought, you could see just the coolness and just the whole thing today, and I think that's tied into that. And so I think we're blessed with the 2 we got. Like I say, RJ's is got some spunk in him too, man. That dude's got some playmaking ability in there. So we're blessed.
When you make the choice on quarterback, do you plan to do a press release, or how do you plan to let us know?
I don't know. I don't know. But no, I appreciate the question. Yeah, I don't know. I have to imagine we probably, with all of the attention to it, we probably need to huddle up, have a good way of doing that. I'm sure that we will.
Dave, I don't know if I've used algebra since high school, but with that scoring system that y'all had today, I might have had to tap into that a little bit. When you have offense versus defense like that, is it fun for those guys to have different ways to score, sacks and 4th down stops and all that?
I think it is. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is the first time for me ever going offense versus defense. I've always been a part of just teams. And I think the advantage of going this is just the competitiveness of it. And then, the 2 points for big plays on offense, that was there was some bannering going on throughout the week of how, Dave, they're getting points for these things. So we're just getting points for touchdowns. And so the big plays right away, I think as a defensive coach, when that plea is being bargained, that you're going to deal with double moves and just all these other things. And so, but I think it just makes it more competitive, makes it more fun. And then, the offensive guys are getting on me because some of the sacks are maybe questionable. We're trying to keep it competitive. And so it's all part of it. So,
Dave, kind of going off of that, actually, how do you think Coach Powledge did today in terms of, keeping that energy? And it looked like the defense was kind of flying around.
yeah, I appreciate that. it's cool for me to walk around in the walkthroughs and to see an attention to detail and a focus. There's an energy that you feel. It's a contagious one when there's a fit drill going on in front of you, and hands are in the right spot, the correct foot is up, right? Eyes are in the right spot, and there's just all this detail to it. And then you look behind you, and the guys that are not in the drill, they're kind of fitted up in the same way from what's happening in front. And so that's the stance, really, on defense. And so to have that, I think is just going to translate into positive things on the field. I think there's a lot of guys that are all locked in that way. So it's cool to see. Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it.